Welcome to Love Byte.
I met her 3.5 years ago, and things were always challenging because she has mental health issues. But I've always supported her and tried to do my best to be there, even though at times it was extremely difficult because she would seemingly go off at me over things I wouldn't have expected to be an issue. But over time, I learned what things were triggers for her due to her trauma and past and got better at navigating all of that. We had a slight break in our relationship 2.5 years ago, for like 2 months. Both of us were struggling at the time. I had recently gotten my cousin to admit to sexually abusing me as a child, and my girlfriend wasn't able to be there to support me as she was also dealing with her own things. We ended up breaking up as I got drunk to deal with my emotions and upset her. I don't drink generally, maybe once or twice a year. Anyway, we got back together, and things were a lot better from my side. I had a lot of therapy to deal with my issues and anxiety. Things were great for the most part. We'd fall out every now and then over the dumbest shit, as she's incredibly difficult to deal with sometimes. I'll give some examples later, but I always tried to be patient and understanding. There were red flags from the start. For example, she would not tell her online friends that I existed. Her reasoning was that the guy friends she had wouldn't want to play with her if they knew she was taken, which I let slide and accepted as they were just online friends. Go back about 2 years ago, and she told me she went out with her flatmate for the day. But later that evening, she called me up and was crying her eyes out, telling me how she wants to have a future with me and live with me, but she's just scared. It was out of the blue and, deep down, rubbed me the wrong way. I trusted my gut and went to her Twitter, where I saw that she met up with this guy online and his friend. I never mentioned it. Apart from once when we fell out, I mentioned it, but she never responded. I didn't follow up on that. In my head, she didn't tell me because she knew I'd get annoyed that she was meeting up with guys who didn't know I existed. I have no issue with her having guy friends or friends in general, but I'm obviously going to feel odd about this because they didn't know she had a boyfriend, and I know what guys are like. I didn't want her to know that I knew her Twitter handle, so I didn't say anything. I saw her twice a week. She lives 3 hours away from me, so I would do that journey twice a week. So I didn't really think it was possible for her to be cheating while working and seeing me. Most of her free time was spent with me. Fast forward to October 22nd, when she left her job due to mental health issues and has been written off ever since by the doctor, sick notes, etc. I have done my absolute best to be there for her. Although I obviously want her to move with me and start a life together, she was always apprehensive and worried about being trapped, which is understandable given her abusive past. Not long about that. So I was patient. I continued to see her twice a week and help her financially. I've basically been paying her rent and food costs since then. On top of that, I've taken her to Rome on holiday 3 times in the past 18 months. We love it there, and try to take her on a fun day out at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. We've had a ton of fun and amazing days out across the UK. Most importantly, I've always been incredibly loving and affectionate toward her. I'm not perfect, but she has been absolutely babed, even though she finds it difficult to show her love and affection towards me. Whenever she needed my help, I was there to support her. Whether it was small things like calling the doctors and renewing her sick note, or trying to arrange for her to get therapy through the charity Mind, or bigger things like paying a company to help her declutter her flat as it became like a hoarder's flat due to her mental health and not being able to tidy or clean without becoming overwhelmed. I built her a whole new set of massive wardrobes with drawers for her jewelry, a new bed, shelving, etc., in order to try and help her sort things out one by one. I've put lots of things in my life on hold to make sure I could financially support her through this difficult period. She has no real family or anyone to help her. I wanted to be that rock in her world that she could always depend on. I had tried cleaning her flat myself, but she would get anxious and overwhelmed, thus having to pay that company £1,200 for 2 days of work to help her clean. I would do everything I could for her, even if it meant I would leave her flat at 1 a.m., drive back, not get home till 4 or 5 a.m., and wake up at 8 for work. I never complained. I just wanted her to feel special and loved and know that she mattered. I often upset her, but it was over the most ridiculous sh*t. Even my therapist was telling me how manipulative she is. The most recent case was a month ago. I asked her if she wanted to watch Shogun together, and she said no, as it has nudity, But for me to have fun watching porn, she has body image issues too. I replied, I'm not watching it. Do you want to watch something else? Fast forward to when she came to my house. She saw that I had been watching Shogun as it came up on Disney+. After I dropped her home, she messaged me, saying I had broken her heart, she didn't think I'd watch it, etc. And ever since then, whenever I saw her and told her that I loved you, she would be like, then why would you upset me? You really upset me last month, etc. These are the types of fallouts we'd have. And if I ever try to explain the situation, it always gets turned around on me, telling me that I'm arguing with her. I played a game with some new people yesterday, a game that she's really good at. I mentioned to them that my girlfriend was really good at the game, and they asked who it was, and I gave them her online alias. And they went a bit silent, and we just carried on playing. Later on, one of the guys called me on Discord and asked me a few things about her. And he showed me a picture and asked if that was my girlfriend, which it was. And I told him we'd nearly been together for 4 years, to which he replied that she had been dating someone else from the OW scene, but they aren't together now. It's one of the guys she met up with 2 years ago. He was either 19 or 20 when they were together during our relationship, and she was 7 years older. I've been shown pictures of them together, pictures of his hands on her thighs, etc. I don't know if they had sex yet or anything. I'm trying to find out more, but she hasn't had sex or anything with me in over 2 years due to her trauma, making it hard. One of the things that made me cry the most was one of the pictures of them together in the Natural History Museum. I asked her so many times to go there with me, but she never seemed that bothered. Apparently, they were a thing for close to a year. She always calls me old, or says I look old, which I don't, as everyone thinks I'm like 28 max. And that I'm a small man, I'm 5'8", mostly as a joke. But now that I've seen him, and that he's like 6 feet or something and has a young-looking face, it makes it feel like it wasn't ever a joke. I'm sorry that this is so long, and it could have been so much longer. I don't even know if what I've written has made sense. I feel so numb. I've wasted so much of my life on someone who doesn't care about me. I haven't told her I know yet. I'm seeing her tomorrow, and I'll tell her then. I will worry about her because she has no job or anyone to help her. I recently paid for her to adopt a cat from the UAE for £800 who is due to land here in a few weeks. She doesn't drive either, so I have no idea how she's going to go pick her up or afford to feed her, etc. Sad face. I always told her from day one that if you ever cheat on me, I'll never talk to you again. I don't care what else you do, just don't cheat on me. I don't know what to do. Why is life so fucking cruel? I hate it. I don't want to exist.